Today we're going to review the Stranger Things themed Dungeons & Dragons starter set. Okay, so when I first heard of this starter set, I was really confused just what actually is it? Is it actually Stranger Things themed Dungeons & Dragons? Like, do you get to play as Steve the Harrington or something? No, it's the second guess or probably the first guess most people had. Most people with the appropriate level of expectations anyway, which is basically, it's that one, campaign, what was it, Will? Right? Will. In the very first episode, they do a campaign. It's just that's all the beginner box. You do that campaign of sorts with some slight modifications. 11 shows up as reference, spoilers. It's just a D&D venture, that's all. It's a beginner game. We got classic beginner game stuff you might expect. A set of dice, although not the full set of 7, but I think most of the D&D starter sets, or all of them, it's only 6 dice, because you just have the one D10, because you're not doing any percentile rolls, so you don't need both of the D10. Okay, we'll get rid of these. Character sheets, we got 6 of them, and they're just regular D&D type characters. They're all level 3. We got a half-elf wizard, a hill dwarf bard, a wood elf cleric, human paladin, and a half-orc ranger. And on the character sheet, we have everything you'd expect. We got the special abilities in the right-hand side. They do exactly what you would expect pre-made character sheets to do in a beginner game, and there's 6 of them, which is kind of on the high side compared to what I'm typically used to. So we got a rule book, which has all the rules that you need to know for the beginner game. And there's spells and equipment, not much else really to say about that. Let's talk about the bulk of it, the adventure itself. It's this adorable little notebook kind of artwork, and Will the Wise, drawn by Will the Wise himself. And it looks like notebook paper, and the DM advice is, notes to myself. Don't worry too much about getting the rules right or being perfect as a DM. That's short for Dungeon Master. Just relax, let things happen naturally, and enjoy playing the game. No one would ever take the time to write that, although he is kind of a weird kid. Anyway, there's an adventure that's your very basic, well, the kind of thing you would expect a little kid to make, or any first-time DM. Hack and slash, basically. There's a prince, Sir Tristan or something. He tells you to go kill a monster. That's it. Very simple. Along the way, you have to, spoilers, kill another monster. There's some dungeons, there's a town, you talk to people, get some information, you fight monsters. That's it. And that you can put into just about any campaign. In fact, I'm probably going to use this for a Genesis system Deadlands campaign. And the adventure is really solid. I was going to say good. It's not really good. It's solid. It's a very solid adventure. I love the format of it. We got a map here of one of the dungeons with everything labeled, and then I don't want spoilers, but every little label has a nice, obviously labeled, sectioned off section from the rest of the sections. This is my big pet peeve whenever they have adventure material in a book, and it's just a big blob of words, and I want it kind of organized so that at a glance I can see what everything is. Like, the spaces and the format, to me, matters more than the content itself. I want it to be easy. That's what I'm looking for with pre-made content. I want it to be easy. This is like fast food stuff. That's what I'm looking for. Don't complicate things. And this does it well. The adventure is solid. There's a part in the middle with a labyrinth that seems like more work than it's actually worth, but you can do that if you want. I'll just skip over. Choices you make early on, how you talk to people, what you say, how you say it, can have a pretty decent effect later in the adventure. And the game does include the Upside Down, if you remember from the Stranger Things show, which basically could just be some alternate reality dark world that you use in your campaign, because I always want that from a beginner game. How useful can all of the different pieces of content be, not just as a beginner game, but also just as raw content for whatever my campaign is. And there's a dark evil world with an evil monster, and you have to kill the one monster to get the other monster, and that'll work in just about any campaign you want it to, D&D or otherwise. So it's a pretty solid adventure that's pretty useful even outside of Dungeons & Dragons. One thing I don't like about it is the aforementioned 11 reference. So 11 of sorts appears in the adventure. She shows up at a time when you're just expected to have the players wander without anything to do, and you don't really give them anything to wander around, like wander through a deserted town and then you don't really know what to do when you find out some stuff, but then a character shows up and then you can go back over this stuff, and because that character gave you information which put this town or location in the proper context, now you know how to interact with it in the proper way. Or no, you just wander around looking like an idiot, and then this GM pulls out this character to tell you what to do so you don't look like an idiot anymore, and she's super powerful, and she just tells you what to do, and then she goes off and does her thing. Why can't the players just do the thing? That's what most annoys me about this, is that this exists just so they can reference Stranger Things, and it makes it kind of a not terribly interesting part of it. It's what the thing does, is that it's just constantly referencing Stranger Things. See, we have a picture of the people from Stranger Things, like the show, but it's not about the show. It doesn't take place in the world of the show. It takes place in the world of Will's campaign, which I guess technically is in the world of the show, but it's not really in the world of the show. But they show you the pictures from the show. The whole point of the pictures in the rulebook is it helps get you immersed in the world. So as you're reading the rules, it's like build up towards diving into this world, but it's not actually, that's not the world you're diving into. This thing makes an appearance, but this doesn't make an appearance. Being a little kid with a wand in a fantasy world and then coming across it like that, this is not in it, but this creature is. Why is this even Stranger Things? You know what this reminds me of? When I was little, I had a Halloween costume, Mickey Mouse. I got the Mickey Mouse mask, and there's like those plastic smock poncho things that kind of looks like the character, but there's always like a logo of the show they were from, or like the face of the character, like a freaking superhero emblem right on the chest, and it's like, why would Mickey Mouse have a picture of his face on his chest? Like, and it comes with a mask, so you know what the Halloween costume is, right? You know what it is. And the whole point of wearing a costume is to get immersed in the idea of being the character. I want to be this character. I want to be Mickey Mouse or Spider-Man or whatever. I want to look like the character, but I can't look like the character if I have Mickey Mouse's face on the chest, because Mickey Mouse wouldn't do that. It seems like they're more interested in just putting as much iconography from the thing, from the IP, onto the product than actually having a product which immerses you in the IP. And that's sort of what this is. It's vaguely Stranger Thing related. There are references to it. You might care. Oh, it comes with minis. 2 minis, painted and unpainted. Like the adventure, the perfectly solid adventure for the most part, these minis can be used in any game. You got another set of dice that you can use, and I guess it's decent enough bait to get someone into playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, hey, you know that Netflix show you like? Well, look at this. You know, just get them to play D&D or these types of games in general using that other thing they like. But like I said, it's like the thing they like, but only superficially so. So I don't know. They might be disappointed or not care. It's fine. It's a perfectly acceptable way to get people to start playing D&D, and I think I paid like $12 for this. At most, I think retail is $20. You'll have some fun. You'll get your money's worth. It's fine. That's it for today. Tune in next time when we're doing this.